Okay, so we're going to introduce you to some Unix command. So Unix is just an operating system, just like CMD or DOS on your Windows, right? So this is how you run CMD in Windows. You see cd command stand for change directory, right? mkdir make directory. So in Windows, like for example, if I want to make directory, we do md, but in Unix it's just mkdir. Like I just make directory dir to see the directory name that I just make date and time. Alright, so let's do the same. Now we're going to use git bash to just simulating the Unix interface, right? For the terminal Unix interface. So again, you could get this on your Mac by running the terminal, or you can just install the Ubuntu, right? Ubuntu for Unix, and there are many other Unix like Fedora, Arch, and so on. You could technically download it, right? So you should start to download like Fedora. So Fedora is based on Red Hat, but it's free version of that. And they have a CentOS too. You can also use CentOS. Yeah, CentOS, right? CentOS. I mean, it's good to learn Unix command if you plan to get into like computer science major. You should know Unix. So the server, I mean, it's kind of more stable. Now let's talk about the command. So we're gonna use git bash to simulate the interface to terminal, right? So I just showed you the basic command earlier, right? You can get some basic command like cd change directory. So first you need to know your working directory, right? So if you compare back to CMD, so your working directory should be your path, which is C : users tk and C, right? So C represent your hard disk, and then there's a folder named users and another folder named tk and C, right? Which is my username. Pretty much how you organize the files, right? And folder. So how about if you look at like Unix terminal? So it look at the user, which is me, right? Like tk and C, right? Now there's a command showing print working directory like pwd, right? Pretty much just show the path like that. So we type pwd. So this is just represent that I'm actually at the root. Okay. So root mean you at the top, like at the end. Just like you at C, something like that. Right. At the root, like cd \, you go to the root like C, right? In CMD. When you do cd \, it's a command for Windows to go back. Just like that. There's no C representing in terminal, but you have the root because the way they organize different. The way they're organized in Unix is look at the user. Like now I am tk and C user. I'm at the root of the user. At the root, pretty much just like I'm at the C. But in Windows they have the C, and then they go to users, and then you go out like different username, right, under the users. But here they just go to the user level right away when you log in, and you add the root of your user. Pretty much you at the beginning you don't have any folders, or let's see what type of folder I have. If I use DAR here, it will not work, because DAR is just like, if I go to DIR here, it will show the list of folders, right? But DAR here is going to show, it looks like it's recognized that, but it looks different. Like ls, like if you type in DAR for some of the Unix, it may not recognize it, but this one will recognize. It depends on type of Unix too. Okay, like probably it's the same thing. You see that DAR show the list of folders. ls is also show the list of folders. Okay, so if I go back to my CMD, okay, let me do side by side now. If I go back to my CMD, so I want to go to users and my username dir. Now if I want it to be /w or dir, I think dir, I want it to show like as the width, like that, instead of list. Like if I don't do /w, it's just go list like column. I do /w, it's pretty much just make it like 3 columns, right? And list them all out like the width. Then okay, so now we see ls pretty much just do just like dir /w, right? Like it's not go to like list as one column, have several columns, go to the width, right? So now the next one, the most important thing is you want to see all the list of the files that you have seen, and now you want to see the location where you at, like pwd, right? So you know you at root, and this is at the root. All the folders inside the root, you have bin, etc, usr, right, user, and so on. Now if I want to follow some Unix command, right, like if I want to change directory, for example, if I want to get into user folder, cd usr, right, followed by the folder name, then it's going to be /usr. Now I'm inside there. If I do pwd, it's going to show you now you're currently in the path usr, right? And if you do ls, it's pretty much just show you the list of folders in that location. Okay, so it should be very simple. Now if I want to go back up one folder, I just do cd space ... So it's going to bring me out of the usr folder. Now if I do pwd, it's current to the root, back at the root again, right? And when you do cd with the, what symbol you call this one? The
one dot is current.
No, like the tilt, right? Yeah, the tilt. Yeah.
Oh, tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
So when you do that, it's actually bring you back to user folder, or the root, C users, T can see the user folder. Right. just like you are in Windows, that we're currently in C user TKNC. And you can do ls, it's going to list all the folders, just like the same right here. And if you do ls-l, let me do one more time. It's good if you do just ls, it's give you the folder just like when you do dar, right? Now if you do -l, it's pretty much just give the details, like the folders and the details. The details like date that is created, right? And also the size of the files and folder, and who created the username, and what is the permission, right? D stands for directory, and permission read, write, execute. So there are going to be 3 levels. At the user level, like read, write, execute at the user, at the group level, and read, write, execute at the global or the other levels. So they're going to separate into 3 levels: user level, group level, and other. Okay, so in this case, so if you look at like AWX, yeah, permissions, so this is called like a file, or the, I just explained, owner permissions, group permission, and other auditable permissions. So the owner permission pretty much determine what action the owner of the file can perform on the file. Like in this case, the owner of the file is TKANC, right? Because the user, which is a login TKANC, that's the owner of the file. And group determine what action a user who is a member of the group. We can create like CSC200 group, right? And our student belongs to this group. So I can see, okay, I will permit you just to read and execute, something like that, right? But you cannot write, that means you cannot change. But for myself, I can just say owner could do read, write, and execute, right? And for the other, that means permissions, like the permissions for other, that means everybody else not sitting in this CSC200 group, or not me, the owner, what action or the other user can perform. So I can just permit them just to execute or run the application. They cannot read the file, they cannot write, they cannot modify, they can just use it, something like that, right? But the student in group CSC200 can read the file, like Java file I'm talking about. You can read the code, you can not make changes, you're not allowed to write. You can do execute, run the code, right? But for myself, I can do read, write, and execute. I can make changes, I can read, I can execute. That makes sense? So that is a file system in Unix, which is different than Windows, right? So that's why when you look at ls-l is the command to display the details. So we just seen, right? So you see if it's dash, it's going to be a file. But when you see D, it's going to be a directory. Right. And you see there are 3 groups. we set up RWX, RWX, and RWX. Now you may see dash. That means you don't have, like for example, let's read this one, right? For example, this one. The first three characters, right, 2 to 4, represent the permission for the file's owner. Like this one, represent that the owner has read, write, and execute, right? Dash, the first character, dash represent the file, right? So this group is for the owner. So owner has read, write, and execute. And the second group is the characters at a group of 5, 6, 7. It's pretty much the same as this one, right? So that's going to be a permission for the group. So in this case, what is the group has? Like I said, right, your CSC200 group, you can read and you can execute, but you cannot write, right? So that's why dash, I didn't give you the permission to write, right? Not like the owner. The owner can do read, write, and execute, right? So each files and folders, they have permission tied to it in Unix system, right? Now the last group, pretty much to the world or other, right, has a bit permission just to read, not even can write and execute in this case, right? Make sense? So the read means you can view the contents of the file. Write means you can also modify, remove the contents. Execute, you can only run the file or the program. You can change the permission by using the command ch, stand for change, right? Change mode, change mode. Okay. So let's try a little bit. So we're going to create a folder we call make directory, right? mkdir. Let's see if I can. I'm going to make the fonts bigger. Okay, that's going to be easier to see. So now I'm making a new directory, right? So the directory just say name like Java. Alright, so I just make Java directory. If you want to check, you can do ls, and you can look at a lot of directories on here, but we see Java, we just make, right? So what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a file, right? So we can do cd Java, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna make a program for your class exercises 2.3, right? We have 2.3. So in this 2.3, you're gonna learn how to use the option pane as the input dialog. So before we learn the option pane as the show message dialog, right? Show output display. So I'm going to write a simple Java to show how to make the option pane as the input dialog, right? So we need an editor, right? So in Windows, you normally use what? Notepad for editor, right? And then you just use CMD to compile, right? And run with Java. So how do we get the editors on Unix? We can use VI. VI is one of the editors. We have Nano too. Okay. Now these are just like a command to run the VI. If you type VI followed by the file name, right, it's going to open the file for you. So let's say I'm going to name my file. Let's see, what application do I need to write? I need to create an application to convert a height from centimeters to feet. Okay, so I'm going to say VI so we say convert to feet, right? So feet, or just say matrix converter .java, right? I create a new file and save it as .java. Same, we just write this way. It's going to create a new file and save for you as .java. And it's going to open. This is like your notepad windows. Now we're in the program, right? Remember, this is not graphic user interface, so there's no such pop up another Windows because it's not Windows program, right? You have only one interface, the black screen here, right? The terminal, and you write a command and you get into another program. Make sense? Now, if you feel like VI is a little bit too hard, because let's see, how am I going to exit, right? If you close this, is closed. You can't even type in unless you type I. I stand for insert. Like, you have to learn the command for VI again. It's not like in Notepad. In Notepad it's easy because you are the user. You can just go to here the command. But remember, this is not graphic user interface. There's no mouse for you to use. How you going to save the file? How you going to exit?
You need to learn the VI basic commands.
Right. Just like through the keyboard again. Like, if I want to exit, I have to do escape :Q, like :Q and exclamation mark. Now I just exit the VI, or just close my notepad, something like that. But you have to do it through command, you see. So :Q exclamation mark, and again, all the command for VI also I provide under cheat sheet section. Okay, if you go to the cheat sheet section here, you see that's git command, VI commands, right? So you probably have to learn UNIX command and VI command at the same time. Okay, and I just show you one of the commands. These are all the commands, and the one that I did, I just do quit, like :Q exclamation mark. I wish it should list it on the sheet here too, right there, right? Quit VI even though later changes have not been saved. Alright, so that's one of the commands I use. Like I said, you still new a little bit. If you feel like, okay, I'll wait, I want to get myself familiarized with UNIX command first, then you wait. You don't have to use VI yet until you get into 3.1 or 3.2. You're required to use it. So at this point, I'm going to show you use Nano, because Nano is easier. Like, you can open the same file. Nano is just like Notepad++, something like that, if you compare, right? It's just different program. Seem like I don't have it installed. Like you, just like when you install Notepad++, you have to install too. Like now, it's a command not found. That means I don't have it installed.
Is VI already installed then?
This is part of the UNIX, yeah.
Okay.
This is like Notepad part of the Windows.
Okay.
Right. Like Notepad++ is not, right?
Mm.
So, if you want to install something like install nano on git bash, okay. Cinst nano. So I try to install the program. This is just like downloading and installing. By user interface, you have to Google and download, and then you double click to install, right? This one, the same thing. You just write a command to install, right? So let's try again after installing. Let's say cannot create directory. Let's try to install, right? What does an errors? Yeah, that's the access denied it. Just like when you try to install program on the school machine, you don't have the permission to do so, right? Yeah, it's not successful, then I mean you're not going to be able to run the command, because I think I have the permission issue here. Let me see if I can fix this permission issue. User should be an admin. I know. Let me try this. I'm going to close git bash. I'm going to open it as an admin. Right click, run as administrator, and try to do the installation again. Cinst nano. Okay, so it's doing something. Now we are going to wait for this. So it's good now. It's installing now. Because I was running git bash as the user level, so it's not permit me to install, right? I have to be an admin. All right, so now we're gonna go to cd. Let's see, check where we at. We want to go to Java, and we want to use nano instead of vi, right? To open the file. Let me see what's the file name. So it looks like we don't have anything here. So we're gonna say again, open a new file, nano, and the file name we said feed matrix, right? Matrix converter .java. Redirection is not supported. Let me see. Just do nano. All right. So let me check what happened to that command. Redirection is not supported. So this is if you use UNIX, you shouldn't have this problem, but I happen to use git bash. Look like the problem is with git bash. All right, so we may have to go back and use vi in this case, but let me see. That's a problem. Okay, so it looks like it's not going to be working. Nano is not working on git bash. But if you use the regular UNIX or terminal, then it should be fine. But now we're going to go back to VI, okay? So let's look at VI again then. We probably have to learn VI now. Matrix. Let me just do matrix converter. Java. All right, so let's start to learn a little bit command of vi. So we have to do I stand for insert. All right, so when you hit I, you see insert. So you insert mode. That means you can type now. Type the code like public class matrix converter. So this is pretty much your Java code, right? And public public statics void main string RGS. Okay, now we're going to show you how to use the option pane. So the option pane dot. So we learned how to show message dialog, right? So this one show input dialog, and you can say enter your height in, like the program said you're going to convert. Let's go back to the question. You are going to convert height from centimeters to feet and inches. So in centimeters, right? So that's gonna prompt the user with a message. So if you remember, use scanner, you have to do one-step system.out.print, right? Enter your height in centimeters, and the next line you're gonna do scanner, right? You create an object scanner keyboard equals to new scanner system in, right? So this whole thing just like those two lines combined together. Okay, like you can just say the option pane dot show input dialog. So those two lines come, and the third line you have to do what? Keyboard dot next. The third line also combined here.
So all the scanner parts are in that line?
Yeah, in one line. And it always read it as string type. Before you have to do next for string. This is just always dot next string. Next in for integer. This is always going to be string. Whatever that you enter is going to be string. Meaning that if you want it to be an integer, double, float, you need to convert them. We call parse. And we have to learn how to parse. Okay. But this one, pretty much, let's test first. Like we said, it's always going to be string, right? Then we're going to have to declare variables, right? Add a string type. Remember, you have to do string like the values, right? Or whatever values that you want to put, right? Pretty much whatever the user input value equals to this whole thing that you read in. It's just like next return back here. Make sense? So now you pretty much get input onto input value, right? From the user keyboard. So the other thing that we want to learn, pretty much just if I want to show a message dialog out, the option pane dot show message dialog, right? What do you want to show? So first you have to put null as an argument. Remember that. Your height in centimeters is okay for now, right? Because I didn't do any conversion yet, just to test whatever the user that entered, just like your 2.2 assignment, right? You display out what the user entered. Now when you use the option pane, we know this class is not part of java.lang. We require to import, right? And it's under javax.swing.j option pane. Alright, so we're done with the code. It will read the user input and then store the value in input value, and we will display on the dialog, show message dialog, right? 2 lines, one for reading in and the other one for display with the option pane. But how do we save the file? This file is not saved yet. This is VI. First, VI has 2 modes, right? Command mode. Command mode, that means before I can type, I have to do I command for insert. Now I finished typing, I have to go back to, when I do insert, it brings me to the editor mode where I can type. I have to go back into command mode now. By hitting escape, you look at the bottom here. So it's go out to command mode. If you type, it will, like if you do PP, PP stand for paste, DD stand for delete. I can copy and paste with the command mode, right? Like YY stand for copy, like yank. You go P. You see, I just copy that line. If I do DD, it's just delete. Like for example, I want to copy this. Now I'm in the command mode, not at the editor mode. I can copy the whole line by YY, and then I do PP, right? I can do the. I can do. If you look at the cheat sheet again, so it's going to tell you all the things that I just said. You could move cursor using. It's just like up and down arrow, J, K, H, L, right? And deleting DD, D, N, W, right? Delete how many words beginning with characters under cursor. And you can put how many lines you want to delete, like the number followed by DD. Like now, if I want to delete 3 lines, I just say 3 DD. It's just delete 3 lines at a time. That's something you will pick up later, but now just know how to type, how to get into the command mode and editor mode. So I just actually exit to the command mode. Now I need to save the file. To save the file, you have to do, in Unix we call write, right? So :W. You try to write. If you look at, just look at cheat sheets to help. So the one I show you is all about cutting and pasting. Right here, yang, P, paste, right? So I'm talking about write, saving and reading the file. See that? You can do :W, enter. Write cursor current contents to the file. Enter. Let's just say, okay, it has been written to this file name. Now I want to quit, :Q, enter. So exit, because the file has been saved, right? So I do ls, this is a file. See that? Now you can do javac to compile if the Java command is valid. If not, oh, there you go, I have an error. Java said missing I, right? This is like your CMD that you used to do now, right? So I need to go back to the file using VI to open the file, right? Type the whole file name as, say, import. Oh, I just need to delete that line, it's extra line, right? So I need to save it again, escape, :W, enter, and then escape, :Q, enter, quit out, right? Save and exit, right? So I need to recompile again. Done, no error. Then I can run Java matrix converter. Okay, so when you run, it's pop up now, right? Enter your height in centimeters. 180. Your height in centimeters is 180. Okay, so this is how you use Unix to write a program. It's just a little bit more than CMD that you need to learn the Unix command a little bit, right? And those basic command is cd, right? Change directory. ls, like list all the files, right? pwd, print working directory, right? And the file to make, you just use vi followed by the file name, right? .java. Now you get into VI mode. You need to learn the basic VI mode command. Now we're on the command mode. We want to edit, go to editor mode by, you do I. So it's going to say insert at the bottom. Now you can write the code. So let's start to write the code again. We say we want to convert this into a feet. So the question said, when you want to convert into feet, you can use this formula to help. And then you use the, when you run the program, just compare the output with this. Go to this side to compare. So it said, whatever you read in, you multiply by 0.39, you get inches. And you know, 12, there are 12 inches in 1 feet. You divide by 12, you get feet, right? And this is just showing you if you want to convert inches to centimeters, you just multiply 2.54, right? All right, so I'm going to show you, like I said, whatever you use, if you use show input dialog, it's going to read in as string, right? You cannot manipulate the string, I told you, right? With the mathematical operations. Like we try to multiply by 0.39. You cannot do that because string cannot multiply. Then you have to convert string into whatever base number you want. The primitive type could be double, integer, right? But I think the height centimeters could be double, right? Or float. So we're going to use double for now. So we're going to say double. We declare, right, a variable. After we convert, we store, right? We're going to name it height in centimeters, right? Equals to, we have to parse. We're going to call double dot parse double and pass the value that you want to parse, which is a string values, input value. So this whole line that we're looking at here pretty much just convert from string into double using double.parse. Double is a class, parse double is the method. And take the string values and convert into double and store into the variable's name height in centimeter. Okay. Now since it gets converted into double, then you can multiply it with 0.39 to get the inches value, right? So now we're going to say we declare another double, and actually double we're going to do it as the lowercase, right? Because that's the data type, right? Double height in inches, right? Which is, we said height according to the formula that is provided, we have to multiply by 0.36 or 39. So 0.39. So now we get height in inches. So after we get height in inches, we want to get height in feet, right? To get height in feet, we know inches divided by 12, right? So we say feet is always going to be an int, so we can just use int, whole number, right? Height in feet equals to height in inches divided by 12. Now when we divide in Java, like for example, if I divide 2.5 divided by 2, what do you get in Java? 1. Why? Why not 1.25?
Because it's an integer?
Yes, because it's an integer. Integer cannot store the decimal numbers, so that's why it's just 1. Like in this case, height in feet is going to get pretty much just get all the inches, right, in the whole number. But if you think about it, should have the remainders, right? It's possible that you can get the remainders, right? So to get the remainders, the remainder operations, you probably want to say, okay, your height is like 5 feet 8 inches. 8 inches should be the remainders. Otherwise, you're going to lose those inches, right? In this case, so we probably want to get inches in int, right? Or in double, doesn't matter. But the thing, because if you said 2.5 inch, I think it's not common, right? Can we say that? Your height is 8 feet 5 inches or 8 feet 5.2 inches?
No, it's not common.
Normally we do whole number, right? So then we can just do int. And then again, height remainder in inches. Okay, I get the remainder from the feet, right? So to get the remainder, pretty much you just take the height in inches again, and we have the modulator we call the percentage symbol. This is called modulator. Like modulator will give you remainders. Like for example, when you divide 11 by 5, what do you get? 2. What's the remainder? 1. 10, right? 10 divided by 5, you get 2, remainder 1, right? But how do we get 2? When we get 2, we just do divide, like that. But how do you get 1? From the remainder, you get mod, or percentage symbol, and divide by 12. Make sense? So the remainder will go into the variable, say remainder in inches. Now we could just change the display, right? Height in feet and inches. Yes. We're gonna say height in inches. Maybe I just gonna say your height is, and then concatenate with feet and feet plus what? Height remainder in inches plus inches. So that should do. And put a period. So we're gonna go back, colon W to save, right? Colon Q to quit. All right. Now we're recompiling this. That's errors. High HEI error. Oh, the type. Lucy conversion from double to int, because this is int, this is double, right? Divide by 12. So what we gotta do, we have to fix that problem first. You have to go into VI again and go into the location that say errors. So the problem is this is double. In that case, if I divided double with double first, if I divide double with double, I get double out. Then this is gonna be double, but we said we want height in feet into be, it has to be int, right? So another way is we can change this into int first, the height in inches. We can make it into integer. To make it into integer, we call casting. You can put the cast in parentheses int. It's going to convert this into integer. Okay, let's try that. So we recompiling this. Alright, so we fixed that error. Now another error said cannot find symbol because I'm missing C, right? Spelling is wrong. So I'm gonna go back into VI and add C in here. Now I can do escape colon. Remember I do colon W, colon Q. I can do both at the same time. I don't
save and quit.
Yeah, at the same time and enter. I don't have to do it twice. Now we can recompile. No errors or not. It's still double into in issue again. I have to cast it first. So the same problem here. So I have to cast it first. And do WQ and recompile it. And no errors. Now we can run it. Right. 180. 70 feet, 10 inches. Now we may need to fix that point to a little bit with its display. Okay, to make it instead of double. And I think it's, I didn't put it right. It should not say 20 feet. 70 feet is too high.
Yeah, 180 centimeters.
Yeah, I think the problem is just height in inches. I have to say height in what? Feet. That's why 70 is out of inches value, right? So this is called logic error, right? There are three types of errors: syntax errors, like when I'm fixing error before I forgot C, like in inches. That's syntax errors. Logic errors just like what ABC. It's run, it didn't give the right output. Recompile and rerun it. Now it should work. There you go. Alright, so try that, and then we will meet again on Wednesday. Alright.